My film uses the codes and conventions as it upholds mystery. Most shots are grey and quite dark, as I didn't want the main film idea to be revealed all of a sudden or quite so easily, as thriller films tend to get built up and the main concept is not very clear. As I didn't just generalise all main thrillers into a big group, I broke it down and decided to pick a subcategory, or what is known as a subgenre, to make it easier to distribute and find my intended target audience. The three examples of thriller that I have used are a mysterious car, as it ties into the main plot of a car crash, and also thriller. As it is black, it's quite dark as you can't see the driver, so it upholds codes and conventions this way. The second example is for a family portrait shot, which doesn't uphold the codes and conventions, it challenges them, as the introductions of victims, it is an introduction of victims and characters, even though they are not shown throughout the rest of the film, and thrillers normally consist of one main character or at most two. And finally, the graveyard scenes, which I thought were an ideal location because they're continuous and adds to the drama of the thriller. I think my film represents particular social groups, as it consists of a typical nuclear family of 2 adults and 2 children, which could be relatable to audiences watching, or also to all classes, for example high, middle, and I've also included working class. And as the main character is a female teenager of working class background, it is also a thriller code that is challenged, and yeah. I think the type of production companies that might take an interest in distributing my film would be Fiesta Productions, Verve Pictures, or Cypher Films. For example, Verve Pictures distributed Bullet Boy, which is a typical British drama that involves issues of today's society. It is also a low-budget film that is small and independent, which could work to my advantage. My intended target audience, I feel, would be a small number of young females due to the main character, which makes it relatable and approachable, and also a small number of males, ranging from social class E to C to perhaps, or more working class, that could relate with the concept of the film. As my storyline is quite relatable and realistic, the introduction into the family, as my storyline is quite relatable and realistic, there's an introduction into the family, and it also conveys typical living situations. The main character is also approachable and mysterious and leads the audience to want to know more about her. The music which I've included is what the target audience would expect or perhaps have heard before from previous films. As it is the first time I've used the DV camera before, I was forced to learn everything from scratch. So new skills were learned that I would not normally have used if I had not participated in making the film. I've learned how to access a camera correctly and effectively and set it up successfully and get the shots are needed for my film. It also helped me to become familiar with basic camera techniques and shots. I've also developed skills through the preliminary task by using a variety of other shots, for example. And also, having never used Final Cut Pro before, this was also new, and not having the experience with this type of software, I thought I would have been at a disadvantage, but it gave me a fresh perspective and allowed me to use the software to the best of my ability. Looking back on the preliminary task, it helped me build on basics from previously and use various shots. As shots used in the preliminary task, for example, the 180-degree rule, match on action, and shot reverse shots. I have established these type of shots by using point of view shots, pans, stills, establishing shots, which helped me to become more confident with the camera.